My name is Gertrude. Standing outside the Jefferson County Courthouse, clutching the folder that represents my newfound freedom, I'm overcome with a sense of relief and a deep sigh escapes me. The past 11 months have been a whirlwind, but now, finally, I've emerged victorious from the shadows of a toxic marriage. Flashback to that fateful dinner at Westbrook Table. The private dining room door slowly opened. Ethan, my soon-to-be ex-husband, walked in first, looking every bit the successful lawyer in his well-tailored charcoal suit. Behind him was Ava, his young and vivacious legal assistant, wearing a bright red dress that seemed to scream her self-confidence. Their confusion turned to caution as they saw the room filled with familiar and unfamiliar faces. I stood up, resting my hand on the stack of black folders. "This dinner is about truth," I said firmly. Ethan's mother, Mildred, a haughty woman who had always looked down on me, sat there with a look of disdain. Ethan tried to keep his tone gentle, asking, "What is this, Gertrude?" I began to open the folders one by one, revealing his financial fraud, the illegal surveillance, and his affair with Ava. Ethan laughed it off at first, but as the evidence piled up, the color drained from his face. Mildred frowned and asked him what was going on. Then Mr. Thompson, Ethan's former father-in-law, spoke up. He pulled out a document from his briefcase, detailing the psychological and financial abuse he had inflicted on his first wife. Ethan's sister, Olivia, was shocked. "You told us she left you for someone else," she said. "Mr. Thompson replied, "She left because you made her a prisoner in her own home." Ethan was furious, but I remained calm. I presented the divorce terms, a fair division of assets, removal of the surveillance software, and his signed admission of infidelity. He scoffed, thinking I didn't have the means to fight. But I placed a business card on the table. It was for my attorney, M.S. Reed, who had previously worked for a legal giant in the industry. I reminded him of the liver transplant case where he and Ava had used their influence to expedite a patient's treatment. The hospital had launched an investigation, and since I provided the evidence, they'd cover my legal expenses. Ethan froze. Ava rushed out of the room in tears, followed by her mother. I told Ethan that I'd lived in his shadow long enough. "From now on, I live by the truth I hold," I said. And with that, I walked away, leaving him and his power crumbling behind me. Let me rewind even further. I was born into a middle-class family in the suburbs of Boston. My parents were hard, working, and kind, always encouraging me to follow my dreams. I studied healthcare administration and landed a job at a local hospital. I met Ethan at a charity event. He was charming, intelligent, and seemed to be the perfect catch. His family was wealthy and well-connected. On our wedding day, my mother whispered to me, "You've found a great man, Gertrude." But deep down, I felt a twinge of unease, which I dismissed as pre-wedding jitters. In the early years of our marriage, Ethan's suggestions about my clothes, friends, and work seemed like signs of his care. "That outfit isn't very professional. Try the blue one," he'd say. Or, "Your friend Sarah is too wild. You should avoid her." Slowly but surely, I started to doubt my own judgment. I stopped wearing the makeup I loved, distanced myself from my friends, and even gave up my painting classes because he thought they were a waste of time. We never had children, and every time I brought it up, Ethan had an excuse. "Not the right time. We need to focus on our careers," he'd say, followed by a cold, mechanical kiss that left me feeling empty. One stormy Friday afternoon, I left the hospital early with a splitting headache. I didn't call Ethan. Something inside me told me not to. When I got home, his car was in the garage and the front door was unlocked. As I approached the bedroom, I heard Ava's light laugh and Ethan's playful voice. "You're driving me crazy, Ava." I stood there, shocked, looking through the crack in the door at their intertwined bodies. I stepped outside, into the rain, and cried. I realized that all my suspicions had been valid. I sent a message to myself, declaring my new-found independence. That night, I went to my college friend, Rose, who worked as a head nurse at the hospital. She welcomed me with open arms and said, It's about time, Gertrude. The next day, I asked for 3 days off work. Rose referred me to MS. Reed, a tough, as nails divorce attorney. I started to gather evidence. I found a revised post-nuptial agreement in Ethan's office that would have left me with almost nothing in case of a divorce. I also discovered spyware on my phone and secret bank accounts he'd been using to transfer our joint assets. After 11 months, the divorce was finalized. Ethan's legal career took a nosedive. He was suspended from promotion and lost several major clients. Ava was fired from her law firm and moved away. My life has changed for the better. I moved into a cozy apartment with a balcony overlooking a park. I've taken up painting again and reconnected with my old friends. Rose is still by my side, and I've met someone new, a kind-hearted architect named Henry. I've learned that freedom isn't given, it's claimed. It took me years to find the courage to face the truth, but now I'm living a life defined by my own choices, free from the chains of a toxic relationship.